everybody, it's time to review another flick. Probably a franchise, a beginning of a franchise again. The movie Alien from 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. We all know this movie probably. And you've got Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, of course. You got Tim Skerritt, played Dallas. You got John Hurt, Kane, the guy who gets, unfortunately, the chest buster. The alien, the spider alien, in his face. Veronica Cartwright as Lambert. And then you got Brett, Ash, and Parker. Brett and Parker are the mechanics, and Ash is the medical science officer, but he is more than he's supposed to be. Now, I probably think everybody's seen this movie, right? They go to a derelict, they get an SOS sign, okay? Ripley is second in command, Dallas is the commander of the ship, of a commercial vessel, and they get an SOS sign, and by law they have to research it. But that SOS sign wasn't they when they arrive at the planet, three people leave the the shuttle where they basically go to the planet with. They detach themselves from the cargo ship and go to the shuttle. Then three people leave: Kane, Lambert, and Dallas, to find the beacon. Now Ripley starts to investigate the beacon, and she thinks it's not an SOS sign, it's a sign to stay away, which is basically don't come here. And of course, she wants to call this through to Dallas, but Ash is preventing this. You already see Alice being weird. He's twitchy. He's doing like this, like sprinting on the moment, and making that noise. He's already weird. It looks like he's weird, but then he says, "Why? Why should we? They're already there, so they can easily just research the place, right?" And okay, she just leaves it be, and they find a derelict spaceship. Okay, and they find the what's it, the space naut, or the astronaut, the one from the what was the movie, Prometheus, the tall guys from Prometheus. He's in this chair, and you see that his chest is imploded, and they research it, and they say his chest exploded, and somebody says no, it's the ribs are sticking outside, so it's imploded, so it's something imploded out of him. And then they dig a little bit further, and Kane, they want to go back, like, Lambert wants to go back. Dallas is sort of starting to agree, but Kane wants to, he's a research officer too. He goes into a hole, and he says there are thousands of eggs there, and you know the story. Now he gets an alien, a face hugger, in the face, right? Apparently, I'm trying to find new facts, so it's not just telling the Alien movie. You all know, I mean, I'll talk about facts after this. These are things that you may not know, because the Alien movie has been reviewed by many reviewers, great reviewers, but I'm gonna give it a try. But I'm not gonna go scene by scene by scene. So you've got the alien, the chest burster scene, of course, which is one of the coolest scene in the Alien franchise movie, is just so brutal. You know, it's like he's having a compulsion, but then the blood spatters over everybody's face and over Lambert's face, and she's completely in shock when this happens. And this little alien is inside a ship, right? They're trying to find it with a cattle prod and a net, but apparently this thing already grew to a full size, which they call the feral alien, because this alien doesn't know, like the aliens in the second movie are actually more how you say, they're more strategized because they have a queen. This one is a feral alien. He has nobody by himself and he's just killing on the sight. Now, you know that he takes everybody out one by one by one by one. Now you have the director's cut, and you know there are deleted scenes put in there, such as a scene where she finds Dallas cocooned in this. Well, the thing is, she sees Brett too, because he's the one who dies first. The thing is that what I always thought was weird is that this particular alien, not the aliens, the warrior aliens like they call them in the second movie, they can't do that. They need the queen to do that. But this alien can apparently morph humans into eggs with face huggers in them. So that was weird. That was a weird scene. Weird because it doesn't really. I think it's a cool scene in a sense, because he's saying, kill me, and then she fires a flamethrower at him and just crying because she had I think a hookup situation going on with him, and I think Lambert too. But there's even speculations that Lambert used to be a guy, is a transgender, and you already got that transgender woke shit in this movie, and yeah, that was really in the script, that he was a guy and then did the operations to become a woman, complete woman, everything off and everything on. Okay, but you already know Ash is a droid, sort of a android, a artificial person, like Bishop says, and he tries to he knew from the beginning, from the get-go, that the planet where they were going was the SOS signal was not an SOS signal. It was a signal that was keep away, a warning sign, and he knew it, and he got the company gave him the orders to go check out the planet. So it's not only his fault, but the company's fault too, but the droid at some point, Dallas is dead. She's the next in command. She goes to Mother. She gets into Mother, and she's asking, "Is there a alien on board?" Yes. Are there? What are our survival ratings? And then like 25%. So it's 75% chance of dying, and then you have the head of Ash coming besides her and is saying, "There's a good explanation for this. And she takes him by the neck, and she slams him against the door. And I think because she does that, he thinks something snapped in him. The droid snapped. The droid snapped. She wants to leave and go to the others to warn that Ash is he's a traitor, and he knew it all along. But Ash does this thing, of course, where he closes all the doors in I think the sleeping quarters, and he's standing there. You see his eyes, his face, and then a drop of white blood, like milk-like substance, and he does like this, and he comes to Ripley. He hits Ripley, and he puts her on her bed, and then he does something weird, and I don't understand what he wanted to do. He takes a magazine and he folds it up, puts it in her mouth, but is that, can you kill somebody by doing that? Just by you can breathe through your nose, right? And what was his idea of doing that? I just don't understand. That was something that I never understand. And yeah, and then of course the kill of Parker and Lambert. That was a kill that I actually, in my mind, thought was one of the most vicious kills, because Parker has this flamethrower, and he can't shoot because Lambert is in shock and standing there, and the alien is standing there. So if he hits the alien, he's also gonna hit Parker, Lambert, and he's saying to Lambert, "Get out of the way, move!" And then he wants to go sideways, and the alien takes him, and he takes the small mouth right in his brain, and then she's getting raped. That was the idea behind it, because the alien is getting through her pants, and she's raping her first and then killing her and hanging her from the ceiling, which was fucked up in my mind. I really had the visual idea of, first she got raped by a really creepy creature and then killed, because as she sees Parker being killed too, his brains are crushed in by the second mouth, the second jaws that the alien has. And eventually, she makes the decision to explode the ship, to make a self-destruct mode, get in the small shuttle that was only supposed to hold 2 people, but they wanted to take a risk to take 3 people, but okay, 2 of them died, so yeah, okay, 1 person's now, so it's a good, I don't know how they would have done it, because there were only 2 sleeping pods, so 1 has to stay awake, so they had to probably change, because in the second movie they say that she was like 60 years floating out there or something, and yeah, so yeah. Now the alien is already on board. The alien is clever enough to know that the ship's gonna explode. Now the alien is on board trying to sleep, but Ripley wakes it up, and it goes like this, and Ripley straps her in a chair, the astronaut masks on and things like that. She takes a harpoon gun, and she's sitting in this, and this is a really tense moment, because the alien is getting out of his place, and she's in this chair, and she's swiveling it like this, and then you see the alien with the mouth coming out, and she opens up the door. the hatch. He flies towards the door, shoots through the alien with the spear gun. It tries to go to the launch pads, and it gets fried by hitting the launch. She hits the launch pads, and it gets fried. And that's she. Then you've got that cool line that she says, "Last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off," and that was cool. Now, facts. These are okay. So that was the movie in a nutshell. Now there are a few facts. So one of them is apparently Parker, whose real name is Japhet Koto. He was supposed to ignore and avoid Ripley on the set at all times. Why? Because they have in the movie sort of a tension between them, and she doesn't like him, he doesn't like her, and that was the reason to create a sort of tension. But he always said he liked her, and he was sad about it. So that's something the Ridley Scott wanted to do. Also, when the nobody knew this, so everybody's on set. When Kane gets the face hugger in his face, you just see something like you don't really see a face hugger. It's just something coming out. It's basically guts and real blood that comes out, and they're all in shock. They're all in shock. They were all completely in shock. They didn't know that, and even Parker, Japhet Koto, had to go home because he was so disgusted by the scene that was real blood and real entrails and like that and shit. That that the stench was also overwhelming because it was sitting there in this cocoon. So yeah, basically guts and blood. That was supposed to be the thing that forced his way to Kane's face, but you didn't see it at that moment. You see the face hugger later on when they take off the mask, and you can see it, and it's holding and choking him if you've tried to take it off. Now, there's also a fact that there was a scene that Ridley Scott really liked. So you've got the ultimate scene, the chest buster scene, right? Now, there's a in the I think there's maybe in the director's cut, in the unfinished cut, he says, but I think he kept it in, and you can see there is a cut where it's in there, and you can see and compare it to that there's a cut where instead of that the alien just bursts open out of his chest pretty quick, and everybody's covered in blood, and it's getting away. It has hard time getting out of it, out of his chest, and Kane is more. It's a more violent scene. Kane is more like trying to, but prevent biting his tongue, putting a pen in his mouth, and apparently the alien had problems getting through the shirt, the skin, and the fake skin, and the shirt, and then it got out and splattered all over the face. It was a more violent scene. It took a little bit longer, which was cool because the alien had a little bit more problems getting out, and Kane was suffering more. That's pretty cool. Now, one other fact was, oh yeah, yeah. There's one little fact, and that's the most, and I'm glad they didn't do that because we wouldn't have a franchise after this. The original death scene was Ripley was supposed to die. And how? Well, everything stays the same until the moment she blows him out of the airlock, shoots him in the, in the stomach area with the harpoon gun. But it doesn't matter. He comes at her and rips her and slashes her head off, completely off, closes the hatch. Then he tries to gets on the computer with his hands, and in full mimic voice of Dallas, he says, "Dallas, last survivor of the Nostromo, come pick me up." And the movie ends. So the alien basically can mimic voices. And that scene alone cost $500,000. So, and the producers called Ridley Scott, and they were so angry with that scene that they said, "Take it out or you're fired." Okay, because they all liked Ripley. Ripley is one of the female, strongest women. She gets the award of one of the strongest final girls, so to speak, of them all, right? So, but actually, the fact that she gets killed in such a cruel way that the alien slashes her head completely off with the helmet on, and then the alien mimics Dallas's voice, which is creepy. It's a creepy scene. I don't want it to be like. I'm glad that they didn't went that way, and I'm glad the Sorry, I'm checking my mic. I'm glad they went the route with keeping Ripley alive for a second movie, or Aliens, of course, which will be discussed soon. But I would have liked to see that scene. I think that would really creep me out. It would be a really creepy fucking scene, Just, but hey, okay, so we got the sort of happy ending, which bittersweet happy ending maybe because she's the only one alive. Last survivor of the Nostromo signing off. And that's me signing off. Let me know what you think. Like it if you like it. And see you later. Bye.